Ladies and gentlemen, I invite here with the latest update from the anti-terrorist operation areas. The Colonel Andriy Lysenko, Ukrainian National Security Information Center spokesman. Шановні пані, останню інформацію з місць проведення антитерористичної операції запрошую сюди пана Андрія Лисенка, речник інформаційного центру.
Capture. Took possession. Seize.
Mastered. Good afternoon, dear colleagues. Today, in the result of the fighting going on, the armed forces of Ukraine mastered the Savur-Mogyla. That is the strategic point on the border of Lugansk, Donetsk, and Rostov Oblast of Russia. From that place, the terrorists for a long time were shooting at the Ukrainian armed forces and some settlements, including Marinivka. Thanks to this victory, and that is real victory today, we opened the corridor to provide the units and subunits with all the necessary things, and that was the corridor that now will not allow the new ammunition and mercenaries from Russia to cross the border. The positions which were under the shooting, under the shelling from the enemy, both from Russia and from pro-Russian bands, are left, are now they were for a long time impossible to master. And our guys were shelled from missile systems, from the systems of salvo fire. Ukrainian soldiers and officers, they stayed against that. With that, not a single shell or bullet did not reach the territory of Russia. I know that here in the audience we have women who are mothers and wives of those guys who are there at the front line, and we thank them for bringing up some such sons, and that they have the husbands like that. They are heroes. The situation on the border in the zone of Oto is still very complicated. Today, about 11 a.m., the terrorists opened the fire on the Krasnotalivka cross point, which is in Lugansk region. The mercenaries made several shootings from grenade launchers, and the result, 2 border guards are wounded, and the administrative buildings of this checkpoint are partially destroyed. As to the situation in the settlements in the zone of conflict, in Krasny Kut of Antratsitivsky Rayon, the road Kharkiv-Rostov, and before Krasny Luch, the subversive groups mined the bridges. The militants continue to strengthen their firing positions in different objects. We see the concentration of terrorists in the city Krasny Luch of Lugansk Oblast, in the region of the plant Standart. Also, we see new firing positions at the waste management plant of the Rovinki of Lugansk region. Also in Terez of Donetsk region, the Russian mercenaries, threatening by the weapons, took from local population 7 vehicles, including the van. According to the preliminary information, we see the split among the militants, and some groups are leaving the city. In Kirovograd, the relatives of the servicemen who are conducting military operations in the zone of Aito organized the artistic action. The children prepared bright pictures with the elements of state symbols and wrote letters. Initiators of this action said that they all the time give to the guys to the front line the uniforms, the hygienic means, and also the equipment for night vision. This time they made a surprise. The heroes are supported by children who say that they also want to become the defenders of Ukraine. On the 27th of July, the correspondent of Espresso TV, the citizen of Poland, Bianca Zalewska, received wounds in the region of conducting anti-terrorist operation. The servicemen of ATO forces immediately rendered her first medical aid and then transported her to the closest hospital, which is in Starobinsk of Lugansk region. Yesterday night, they were evacuated by the helicopter to the military medical center of northern region in Kharkiv. Now the health of Bianca and the state of health of Bianca Zalewska is assessed as stable. The General Secretary of the Government of Japan, Yoshihide Suga, stated that Japan has the intention to publish the list of persons and organizations against which the sanctions will be introduced because of the situation in Ukraine. The assets of people and organizations who have a direct attitude to Crimea joining Russia and to destabilizing the situation in Ukraine will be frozen. So this is all the information as of now. Your questions. Could you please explain that we mastered Savur Mogila? Does that mean that we reached 70 to 79? Or does that mean that just some assistance is going there? From that height, Savur Mogila, the mercenaries, the militants were shooting at all our units which were located between the border and the territory they were located at. Now when Savur Mogila is ours, no one will be shooting at the back of our servicemen. Now we can, without any obstacles, supply the provision and ammunition to our goods. There's only threat from Russian Federation. Savur Mogila is a big victory. The guys who are here, they're really heroes, and it was very difficult for them. Again, I would like to thank our women for support. Two questions, if possible. In the morning, you did not mention the data about losses. Our losses, maybe now you can make this information public. Do you confirm or deny the information about the death of 28 servicemen from Aidar battalion, and also the information about the traitor officer? Can you tell us what was the harm from him and how can we avoid such betrayals? Thank you for your question. As to the servicemen of Aidar battalion and the number of killed or wounded, in the morning we had information about 4 killed bodyguards, 2 wounded bodyguards, but the total number from Aidar battalion we did not receive yet. There are battles, fighting going on. There's no time to count. Sorry for that. This is very difficult military operation. Now all of them are in offense, and we cannot start calculating them. And the sooner we do it all, the sooner we will get to this line. And here, this will be not our rear, but this will be the front line. As soon as we manage to free all these, to liberate all these settlements, we hope that the shootings from Russian territory, which are made as if in response to the shootings from Ukrainians, will stop. Because from here, there will be no one who will be provoking these shootings. As to this officer traitor, that's within the competence of our special authorities. As soon as they finish their work, we will provide you with the information about that. Japanese TV. Today, you gave us information on deciphering the black boxes from the aircraft. Is that an official information? What is the source? Thank you for your question. All the information that we get about the data taken from black box, that is the information from the Special Commission. That's official information. We are not inventing anything. The question from foreign journalist, New York Times.
David Hersenhorn with the New York Times. Could you tell us more about the hostilities that are taking place near the wreckage site of the Boeing 777? You said this morning that the Ukrainian military had approached the site and not engaged in any action, but it appears that there's active fighting going on that prevented the international experts from reaching that territory again today.
Thank you for question.
Дякую за запитання. We really came close from the southern side to this territory, as you can see, but however, this territory, exactly that territory is controlled by the terrorists, and we do not have any chance to go there and to ensure security. The question was asked why we are not doing it. The answer is there is a prohibition to conduct active battle warfare in the diameter of 40 kilometers around the crash site, not to destroy the evidence which is left there in the result of the air crash. And the question is often asked when we will be there, how we'll be doing it. This territory is not the strategically important territory like Savur-Mogila, because Savur-Mogila was this height from which they were shooting, but that is in the valley, and there's no sense for militants to stay there. As soon across Debaltseve to Krasny Luch, as soon as our troops get there, there will be no sense for militants to stay there. They will withdraw to Anthracite. As soon as they withdraw, we will occupy that territory, and we will do everything possible for international experts to conduct their work, to do their work, to look for evidence needed to find out what was the true reason for the crash of the aircraft.
I guess the question is, by mobilizing in this area, did the Ukrainian military violate the agreement of this 40-kilometer ceasefire zone and create hostilities where there seems to be active fighting between the two sides that are preventing the experts from coming in? Can you answer that? If the Ukrainian military violated this agreement by engaging in hostilities, by mobilizing into this area where everybody had agreed there should be no mobilization so that the investigation could go forward?
Дякую за запитання.
Thank you for your question. In this area where the aircraft of the crash, Ukrainian military are not conducting any military operation. There's the prohibition, but we do have information that terrorists from time to time are shooting at this place of the crash to destroy all possible evidence. One more question. Bloomberg, I have two questions. First, could you please tell, do you have any information about how many men were enrolled according to this program of partial mobilization? And the second, this is not an easy question, but according to your assessment, if Russia does not increase the supplies of machineries or the weapons, how soon is it possible to liberate the territory? As to partial mobilization, in accordance with the presidential order approved by the parliament, the mobilization will last for 45 days. Every law enforcement agency which participates in an anti-terrorist operation enrolls as many people as they need, first of all, to replace some people partially, to add people to the units, and also to create the active reserve, because The units cannot offend all the time, go in offense and without having any rest. For that we need the reserve. As soon as we have the reserve and people who had some rest, then this will mean a very powerful wave and no one will stop it. And as to how long will this operation last, it will last till the complete victory. I cannot tell you in time. If I tell you the date when it finishes, then I would become a real competitor to Nostradamus. Andriy. We are from initiative group Wives and Mothers of the guys who serve in 79 Brigade. One question is, when will this rotation take place? How long do we have to wait for that? Partial mobilization is now being done. You understand for what we are doing it, who we enroll. We enroll people who already have some experience in conducting warfare, and for them, they don't need a long time to learn something. A week, maximum 2 weeks, a week and a half, they will go to the training camp, and after that they will go to help your children, your husbands. So should we wait for 2 more weeks? I cannot tell you 2 weeks. There are people who are ready, even tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, to go there. The process has started. Any other questions? Is there any new information on those 40 servicemen who are on the territory of Russia? The prosecutor's office is working on that tomorrow. The general prosecutor's office will have the briefing, and maybe they will answer that question. We do not have the answer to this question yet. There's information as if Borodai left Ukraine. Is that true or not? He did not report to us. We don't have any official information. If they sooner leave Ukraine, that means that we will sooner have victory. Maybe we will not even have to finish our partial mobilization. From Japanese media. I understand that the question probably is not directly to you about this briefing of the General Prosecutor's Office. Is there any information? Where and when? Today they will announce. Just look at the website of the Prosecutor General Office. They promised today that they will have it, and they requested me to announce it. Please go there and watch it.
Provide us evidence that you said this morning you would provide evidence that the militants are posing as Ukrainian army officers and dropping shells into civilian populations. When do you think you might provide that?
Thank you for your question. Basically, we do have this evidence. If you need them, you can first of all look at the website, mediarnbo.org. If you need more evidence, come to me, and I will give you more information where you can get it. Liberty Radio. From infographics, we understand that the last place left to in Sokol-Lugansk is. Will you be able to really encircle Lugansk in the nearest future? The situation is that Ukrainian troops cannot be stopped now. Is that the last place? There are some other settlements which are controlled by mercenaries. Maybe they are not mentioned at the map, but there are military bases where they concentrated their arms. There's work for Ukrainian army, for our troops to carefully move forward. And in Debaltseve, you managed to establish control. Is the information true that you managed to sort of split the ATO zone into two parts? So that's the corridor. Talking about Debaltseve, so that you understand, Debaltseve is a very important hub, especially for railway. And if Debaltseve is under our control, then we will be able to move our troops by railway. We understand that. We do not promote that a lot because we understand that there are many subversive groups operating, and you hear that they are exploding the bridges. We do not announce our plans, but I can tell you that no one will stop Ukrainian servicemen now. Any other questions? No more questions. Thank you. Thank you all. Tomorrow at 12:30.